Hello, welcome to Linux Lovers. Today I came up with the concept of directory links in Linux. In Linux we know that we can create soft links and hard links to a file, and we know that we can create soft links to a directory. Okay, the question is, so can we create hard links to a directory? The answer is no. By default, user cannot create a hard link to a directory, but for internal Linux maintenance purpose, Linux will maintain hard links to a directory. And the third question is, by default when we create a directory, why directory will have two links when we created it? Okay, and what is the funda behind it? Okay, so that's what we are going to discuss today. So let me open my Linux terminal. Okay, I'm going through my Linux terminal. So my Linux terminal is ready. So let me create a file. Okay, I created a file named as file1, and if I long list that file, so by default, if this is the column for permissions, this is the column for links. Okay, when we create a file, by default you will have one link. Okay, so what it means is the file whatever we created on hard disk can be referred with this name, means we have one link to the file. If I create one more hard link, let me create one more hard link, ln file 1 and file 2. Now let me do the long listing. Now for both file 1 and file 2 we have link count as 2. Okay, and it's not like the file is physically present in two locations. File is physically placed in one location only. So the same data is pointed out by both file 1 and file 2. You see, the link count is 2. Okay, even though accidentally you delete one link, you can access the file data by using second link also. If you delete one link, automatically the link count will get reduced to 1. Okay, so this is about hard links for files. So already we saw, like in Linux, when we create a file, by default it will have one link. Okay, let me create a directory for you, mkdir. Let me long list now. You see, when I created a directory, the directory by default it contains two links. Okay, here see, let me create one more directory for it. I'll create a directory called mydir. Let me long list that directory alone. Okay, so when I created a new fresh directory called mydir, and by default it has two links. Okay, so your question might be, is this directory whatever you've created is going to point it by one more file? The answer is yes. Okay, let me go back to the presentation. Okay, so we all know in every directory Linux internally will maintain two hidden folders. One is dot and double dot. Okay, dot stands for current directory and double dot stands for parent directory. This is nothing but a hard link to the name of the file. I mean, in Linux everything will be treated as file. Your CD-ROM is a file, your RAM is a file, your folder is also a file. So by default when we create a directory, this directory file will have one link, and the dot which contains inside the directory will refer to this same file. That's what I mean to say. Okay, so in every directory you will have dot and double dot. Dot stands for current directory and double dot stands for parent directory. Dot is a physical hard link to the current directory. Okay, that's why when we create a directory we have two links. Let me go through one more example. So when we created initially a directory, you will have two links. If you go through one more slide, it will be more clear to you. Directory with one subdirectory will have three links. Why is that? In every directory, now I have a directory called Jaffer folder, and in the subdirectory, this double dot is a hard link which is pointing to your original parent folder file. That's why when we created subdirectory inside a directory, that folder, that directory will have three links. Let me go through one more slide. So when we have two subdirectories in a file, how many links you have will have to that folder? By default, the folder name is one link, and it will have one more link in the form of dot in the directory. In these two subdirectories, you will have double dot. This is one double dot. In this subdirectory, one more double dot. So totally, you will be having four links. If you have three subfolders in a folder, you will be having totally 5 links. Okay. So the conclusion is, when we create a folder, initially it will have two links. So in the form of one is one is name of the dir, and other is in the form of dot. Okay, you might ask me, in the case of files, the inode number is same for both. Okay, let me show you the inode. Okay, so we already created a file 1 and file 2 right here, and let me display the inode number ls-li file 1 file 2. You see, for the files whatever I created hard links, the inode number is same for all, which means the file data can be tracked by using file 1 and file 2, and the data is not physically present in two locations, it is there in one location. So how about in the case of directories also? In case of directories also, even though it is a directory also can be tracked by using the name of the file. Okay, so the inode number has to be same for all. For example, if I create an initial directory, name of the directory should have name of the directory, and the dot should have same inode number. Same in the case of subfolders also, whatever be the inode number we have for Jaffer folder, the same inode number should be present for dot and subfolders double dot and this subfolders double dot. The inode number has to be same for all. Then only we can confirm like it's a link to the file. Let me demonstrate this. So let me clean up all this. Okay, now I'm going to create a directory. And by default, when I create a directory, it have two links. I want to show what is the inode number for this Jaffer dir. ls-li oh sorry, I need to display. Yeah, if you see what is the inode number for Jaffer dir, this is 1572843. This is the inode number for Jaffer dir. So let me go inside to the directory. And let me see what is the inode number for dot. You see, the inode number for dot is also same. Okay, even if you do the long listing, I have to display, since it is a hidden folder, I have to display a. Okay, so the inode number for dot, this one, okay, which is similar to as when we displayed the inode number for Jaffer dir. Let me create one subdirectory. Okay, sub dir 1. Sorry, it's not a cd. Now let me go inside to the directory. I want to display what is the inode number for double dot. You see, in the subdirectory also the double dot is also. So initially when I created the directory, the inode number is 1572843, and the dot which is in the directory has same inode number, and the in the subdirectory the double dot which is also having same inode number, which means like dot and double dots are nothing but which represents current directory, parent directory, are hard links to the current directory and parent directories. So they are hard links. So by seeing this demo we can confirm these are nothing but hard links. So the conclusion is, if when we create a directory, initially we said like we have name of the directory, one name of the directory plus dot. Okay, you will have two links. So if I have two subdirectories, how many links I will have? If I have two subdirectories, I will have totally 4 links. If I have 3 subdirectories, I have totally 5 links. Okay, the logic is simple. Even when you are doing real-time job, when you do a long listing, if you see the link count for a directory as n, means you can simply say it has n-2 subdirectories. You don't need to go inside to the directory and see. You don't need to search how many subdirectories are there. If the directory has n links, means it has n-2 subfolders. Okay, so we are done with the session. If you like my video, please share it with others and make a comment. Thank you.